started and I'll continue. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Good. You want to keep racing? Moment of silence?
Yes, I'll do it in public. JWC County Commissioners Court for today, June 12th, 2026, 9 a.m. is now in session. Public testimony. If we have one, and Mr. Mercado, we're gonna wait for the agenda item. Vicky Trevino, Coastal Bend College.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. My name is Vicky Trevino, and I am the Community Engagement and Outreach Assistant.
Can you speak to the mic?
Yes, good morning. As I was saying, my name is Vicky Trevino, and I am the Community Engagement and Outreach Assistant. And on behalf of Coastal Bend College, I would just like to provide a brief update. Coastal Bend College has recently been recognized nationally with the 2026 Top College for Innovation Award, highlighting our commitment to workforce education, student support, and affordability. The CBC Board of Trustees has approved the 2026 to 2031 strategic plan, which focuses on student success, workforce development, and increasing credentials attainment across our service areas. We are also proudly celebrating our 2026 graduates, recognizing students completing academic and workforce credentials that prepare them for their careers and continued education throughout South Texas. In our recent Cougar Trek enrollment event, we welcome more than 100 prospective students, resulting in over 70 students registering for our classes. Our Coastal Bend College Promise program continues to gain momentum with more than 85 students applying for tuition assistance opportunities. We have also launched the Cougar to Jaguar Promise partnership with South Texas College. This is creating a seamless pathway for associate's degree into bachelor's degree programs, while we are also expanding our financial support for qualified students. The college continues to invest in our student success through upgrading our distance learning technology, facility improvements, and ongoing efforts to improve operational efficiency and stewardships of taxpayers' resources. As we move into our summer months, Coastal Bend College remains focused on expanding workforce training opportunities, strengthening partnerships with our communities, and providing accessible, affordable education that supports regional economic growth. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for the update. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it. And at this time, I would like for everybody to stand up. We're going to offer a moment of silence for our constable, Mr. Davila, Constable Frank Davila. He lost his life this past week. He fought very hard through the sickness that he did have. Unfortunately, he did not make it. Frank Davila was a very important part of our team, specifically in the Fremont area. Frank was our constable for many years. Frank was able to make a difference in a lot of people's lives, and not only in the Fremont area, from all of Jim Wells County and the surrounding area out there in Brooks. Um, you know, one of his most proud moments was when he came a few years ago and wanted to purchase that building. And we worked together. He spearheaded that project. Now we have a building in Fremont where the people in Fremont do not have to drive no more, come to Alice to get a lot of their stuff done. And that was one of his most favorable projects because it impacted several people from that area. So at this time, does anybody else from Commissioners Court like to say anything before we give him a moment of silence? Thank you very much. Is there anybody else in the court that would like to address the court at this time?
Sure.
Together?
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Michael Guerra, Jim Wells County Attorney. I just wanted to update everybody as we come to the end of the school years for our districts about our truancy program. We had another very successful year, encouraging students to continue to attend school and get the credits that they need. Of course, in some cases, that's not an option. So as an alternative, we encourage them to get, or sometimes order them to get their GED. But here are the numbers for this past year. Alice ISD, we filed a total of 96 cases. In Orange Grove, we had 45 cases. And in Fremont, we had 77 cases for a total of 136 cases this past school year. I want to thank you for your continued support. To all the judges, Judge De Leon, Judge Flick, Judge Rodriguez in Fremont. We appreciate their help and their caring in this very important issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Guerra. Thanks, sir. And a very important point, I'll speak a little bit in public speaking. As you can see, how education and our commitment to education is for not only Jim Wells County, but the surrounding area. We've had several students from Alice High School come and present during public speaking. We encourage all the high schools to participate, to take advantage of Commissioners Court while they can. In public speaking, they can come and advise the court and anybody that's watching us out there in Zoom, and anybody that'll click on the YouTube channel on the great things that they're doing. But my main point right now as I'm speaking is our Commissioners Court, Jim Wells County, and our commitment to education and the importance of it for all our students and all our communities.
I'd like to say something real quick. Judge, June the 4th, we had our first spay and neuter program from that grant, $1 million that we received with PetSmart. And we were able to spay and neuter about 33 animals, which is excellent. It was the first week. I want to thank people like Cindy Garcia in the auditor's office for donating of towels. David Guerrero donated some towels. Judge, we've done a lot of work for the building to bring it up to par, and thank you for everything you've done for us. And Mr. Aguilar participating in all this in his area. We're gonna have another one this coming week. It's gonna be 2 days, 16th and the 18th. All you have to do is either call our office or go online and you can register, and it's $25 per animal. And you get the rabies shots, distemper, and some other little things. You'll even get some dog food and cat food. So please help us control the population in Jim Wells County, pet population. And it'll be going on for about 3 years, so please spread the word. It's in a designated area right now. Eventually, we won't hit the numbers, we're going to try to expand it to the rest of the county, so just be patient and we'll get it. But it went very well, and Cheryl from PAC was excited, and thank everybody that participated and did their part. Thank you.
Yes. Anybody else?
Yes, like Mr. Gonzalez said, we want to spread the word out there to the public because it is important to control the population. And it's a very good program, and we're very involved in the community. And we want to continue to be involved in the community to help our constituents. And we know that this program will get expanded sooner or later. So like Mr. Gonzalez said, be patient with us, and we'll continue to expand as they see feasible. Thank you.
One quick thing, real quick, Judge. We also received about $8 million worth of vaccines for heartworm deal, and it's gonna start. We're gonna start here in about a week or so doing the vaccines. So that one we're probably gonna expand it to other areas in the county. So it's gonna tie in with the screwworm issue that we're having right now. So it'll help a lot for that. So we'll announce it here in the near future. It's gonna happen. Thank you, Judge.
Anybody else? If not, I'll move forward. Agenda item number 4, previous minutes. 4.1, discuss, consider, and take action to approve minutes from previous meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 5, consent agenda. Consent agenda items will be voted upon in one vote and will not be discussed separately unless requested by the county judge, commissioner, or assessor.
Yes, Judge Commissioners, I have reviewed all the budget amendments. They are allowable with y'all's approval.
Motion to approve items presented, Judge.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 6, presentations. 6.1, presentation by Jim Wells County in collaboration with Texas A&M University Kingsville, recognizing students that completed the clinical medical assistant program held at the Jim Wells County Resource Center at 601 East Main Street, Alice, Texas. So today we're very fortunate to have some more students that have completed a program. I'll give you a little bit of backstory, and Mr. West, I'll introduce him here in a little bit. We've been, myself and him and Dr. Vela, president of Texas A&M University, we have been working on a program where we can extend their services, their educational services to Alice, Texas, and have our own students, our own community come to the Resource Center and be able to complete a certified program and get in the workforce. We had talked about it and right now, and further down on the agenda, we have, we're gonna approve engineers so we can start remodeling the 3rd and 4th floor for this reason and several other reasons that will be discussed here in a little while. But we didn't expect to do it, to collaborate and to have students be able to take advantage of these programs until that was completed. Well, come to find out that they wanted to start earlier, and we wanted to start earlier, and we had the room, so we've done it. We've already completed one. I think there was 10 who completed the Certified Medical Assistant Program, right? That was the first one. Now here, we're in the second one, and we have 11 who started and 11 who completed, right? So that's a great thing. For the college, that is so awesome when they can start 11 and finish 11 or 30, whatever it is, in any class, and they can tell you. very, very proud to be able to announce that, and much more prouder that we have our Alice people and our surrounding area people that are doing it. So today we hear, of course, we had Vicky Trevino from Coastal Bend College who spoke earlier. We have Brenda Ballard, the Director of Workforce Training. And then we have Jeff West, the Chief of Workforce Development. And let's give these guys a hand because we have been working very diligently to have this opportunity. And I'm very proud to say that we're going to continue to work diligently to make sure that we continue these services here in Jim Wells County and in Alice. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. West, and then we're going to recognize each one of the students. So Mr. West.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners. As Judge mentioned, my name is Jeff West. As you know, I serve as the Chief of Workforce Development at the university in the Office of the President. Dr. Vela couldn't be here today, but he did want me to just say a couple of words. I won't talk too long. I know that Brenda and Sam want to get to the meat and potatoes, which is celebrating our graduates. Congratulations, graduates. But he did want me to tell you thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to partner with Jim Wells County. There's a lot of ideas that Judge and I and Dr. Vela have for the future, and with Brenda and Samantha Gonzalez. Samantha is our coordinator who makes everything happen on the ground. We've got a great team working on behalf of Jim Wells County to extend A&M Kingsville programming here so that students don't have to drive all the way to Kingsville to receive the same academic quality and workforce training that we offer in Kingsville. And so he just wanted me, Dr. Vela wanted me to say thank you to the judge, thank you to the commissioners for allowing us this opportunity, excited about the future, and again, congratulations to all the graduates. On behalf of our president, welcome to Javelina Nation. Judge, that's all I've got to say today. I want to turn it over to Brenda. She and Samantha and the team on the ground make everything happen. So thank you again for allowing us to be here. Thank you for celebrating with us. And Brenda, floor is yours, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for allowing us to come in today to honor our great students. We did begin this class with 11. They passed. They took their certifications in our office. We offer that as well. They passed that as well. So a lot of them already have jobs. So not all 11 are here because they're working. But the 7 that did show, or 6 that did show, we'd like to honor them. I'd like to give very much appreciation to Samantha Gonzalez, because without all of her help, this wouldn't be possible. We will start. If y'all will come up here as I call your name, and we'll take a picture right up front. Is that okay, Judge?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Audrey Arroyo. We just need a representative. No, you go. You do.
Behind this guy. He always blocks me.
Yay.
We get one with everybody.
You can't see me. This guy.
Picture here in a minute.
Next up is Ayla Olvera.
Congratulations.
Next, Luz Cardona. Oh, just kidding. Next, Melinda Trejo.
Congratulations.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Next, Garcia. One, two, three. And next, Ann Nava. As we take pictures, I just want to mention the others that weren't able to get off to be here. Jessica Aguilar, Janelle Gonzalez, Valerie Aguilar, Allison Ramos, and Natalie Ariano. Okay, do we want to take a group picture now? So if all of y'all will come up so we can take a group picture?
Anybody in Jim Wells County out there, come on forward.
How are you doing? All good? Good to see you.
Like I have a cough, I can't go up. So I fought it too bad.
Who's the little boy?
Oh my God.
Who's the little boy?
That's nice, super nice.
Let them be.
I get in right here.
We have another constable, two constables out there. Everybody. I want you to take a picture with us.
Okay.
Thank y'all very much. Appreciate you guys. Good luck. Okay, thank you so much.
Judge, one last thing. I really want to thank you. Ruben Bardella, who was runs the facility for us, was amazing.
Is he here? He's not here, right?
You want me to call him? And he was just here checking the air conditioning.
But he was very wonderful to deal with and very accommodating to us.
Yes,
So thank you.
thank you so much for bringing that up. Very important. I want you all to know, Ruben comes and says, Judge, we need to get him a cake. We need to get him everything. 'Cause I want you all to know that he's very, very happy and excited to be able to help you guys and be a part of this. So I'm sure he'll tell y'all, but he wishes y'all very much, very well. So,
He was our security.
you know what?
We did
Is he coming up? Let's wait for him. That way he can say something. We're gonna put him on the spot. He ain't gonna-
It's gonna be like.
Yay, Ruben.
I told him that I'm very proud of you because you take real good care of them. You told us, hey, we have to get them a cake, we have to celebrate them and all that. So I'm gonna let you say a couple of words to them if you would like. We're gonna put you on the spot. Hey, he's been on the radio for years, so don't think he's gonna be nervous.
I'm very proud of you all. Congratulations. Thank you to our great commissioner support for supporting you all.
Thank you, Ruben. We appreciate what you do.
Thank you, Ruben. Todo bien. Ahí vienen.
I'll stand up again. You have a lot of fans, Ruben? I didn't know that. Y'all want to get in, Jeff? No. You good?
Yes. That's Ruben's time.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
One more, I think, one more,
Oh, one more.
or two more? Thank y'all so much again.
Be careful on the wind.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners.
Yes.
Thank you.
You guys. And very important, one more thing I want to say before we move on is we always talk about economic development and what we're doing for economic development, but it's also economic mobility. And that's very important when we can provide the education and certification and either they go out in the workforce and get a job, well, that's economic mobility for themselves. If they get a raise, that's economic mobility for themselves also. So that's key. We're not only focused on the economic development and what we're trying to bring in, but what we're trying to do of our residents that are already here for their economic mobility. So thank you all very much. Yes, sir.
I forgot to mention commissioners and community. I mentioned real quickly or briefly that Judge and Dr. Vela and I have been talking about extending A&M Kingsville offerings here to Alice and to Jim Wells County. I want to be clear that that's not just workforce certifications like clinical medical assistant or skilled trades, but also academic degree programming as well. Once the facility, God willing, it goes through, everything looks good. Once it gets built, we will be able to actually extend our academic offerings here too for traditional degree seeking students. So we'll have both workforce training and academic classes here in Alice so that folks don't have to drive all the way to Kingsville to be a part of the Javelina Nation. Just wanted to share that with you in case I wasn't clear earlier. But the future is bright and we look forward to working with you for as long as you'll have us. Again, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you all very much again. Number 7, Grant Administrator Norma Salas, discuss, consider, and take action to approve and authorize the execution of engineering services agreement together with the addendum number 1 between Jim Wells County and Internal Counseling Consulting Engineers, ICE, for engineering services associated with TDA, Texas CDBG 2026 Waterline Replacement Project, grant number CFC 260017, and authorize the county judge to execute all related documents.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Norma Salas, Grant Administrator for Jim Wells County. Y'all have the agreement, the engineering service agreement for our TDA grant, Texas CDBG 2026 grant number CFC 26-0017. That is the grant that we'll be doing in the Bimble area, that Commissioner Huicho Gonzalez, that's his precinct. So we do have our engineer present. Also, y'all have the contract. If y'all have any questions or anything.
I think we did the amendment.
We don't have a contract yet.
We don't have a contract yet.
No, we're waiting for Mr. Paisley to get back with,
No. Oh, sorry. This right here is for the engineering.
right, and we said that until we have the interlocal with the water district,
Okay, so
would
this
be-
one can't go through?
I'm okay with it going through with the addendum. I was told, though, that we had to do it in a particular order.
Okay.
Is that incorrect?
They did not give me that knowledge on GrantWorks. They just said that we could pass it. The interlocal agreement is between the freshwater district. That's another,
Right,
yes.
right. But if they're okay with us, we talked, remember we talked about putting the cart before the
Yes,
horse?
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So we still don't have the MOU or the interlocal with
Okay,
with the
so I guess
district.
this would have to be tabled then?
I don't have a problem going forward with it, but I guess that's a question for GrantWorks.
Okay, okay.
I don't think there's an issue with that. I think that the motion would have to specify that we do.
Including the,
That it's contingent on entering into the interlocal with the water district.
Exactly, and the agreements all agreed upon and signed and sealed and delivered. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, so that should be coming back into court on the interlocal agreement on June 26th, if everything
Correct.
goes well.
Correct.
Okay,
So I think everything is good. I think all parties are we're close to the agreement and, the interlocal agreement. So that was the only drawback. So, that being said, I make a motion, we do approve
Second.
the agenda item as
Okay.
stated and as, included, that we do have to have an interlocal approved to move forward.
Okay, thank you. So then,
I have a motion and I do have a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. And just for that, I think ICE was okay with the addendum, so everything is good.
okay.
Seven point two, discuss, consider, and take action to approve agreement with International Consulting Engineers, ICE, for the engineering services for Jim Wells County USDA Rural Development, RBDG grant by USDA for Business Enterprise Project. We had our kickoff meeting last Tuesday, was it last Tuesday?
Last Wednesday.
Wednesday, we, ICE was there, if you want to come up, Mr. Mayor, with engineers and architects. We discussed everything that needs to be done. They had no problem with scope. They did send a contract. We did have some questions, and I think we did have an addendum, Mr. Guerra, also.
Right, that's, and this one is a lot more basic. It just basically does the usual protections for the county, that we're not waiving any of our protections that the state gives us. Since we are a political subdivision, we're different, we have additional protections. And sometimes these standard contracts have language that would basically take those away, and we don't want to lose any of those. So it's got 14 provisions, and as long as, and I know I didn't get the contract till 2 days ago, I think. So I'm sorry this came in late, but we could still go forward today, contingent on the ICE agreeing to the addendum.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. JJ Jimenez, President, owner, sometimes custodial at the International Consulting Engineers. Thank you for the opportunity to be of service. And yes, we received the amendment to the contract this morning. This morning too, I was reviewing the contract and based on and comparing it to our meeting notes from the kickoff meeting. And I do have one correction actually on page 2 of the contract. So the budget or the grant amount or the budget for the project is $500,000. And so we utilize that number as the budget. The contract is based on a % of the construction cost, right? So we utilize the $500,000 from the grant for the construction cost. So the fee is 10% of the construction cost. But going over the notes, I realized that out of the 500,000, we have around 148,000 that's allocated for furniture. So the way I saw it is like we shouldn't be getting a % out of you buying furniture. So out of the 500,000 on page 2, item 1.13, where it says budget 500,000, we need to revise that to reduce it by, it's around 148,000, so it'll be like 352,000 of actual construction costs.
That was on page 2?
On page 2, the budget's on page 2.
That's their contract, Judge.
Yeah, on our contract.
It's not the
On
addendum.
the
it's their-
AIA.
It's their
Yeah,
contract.
it's in this one, right?
Yeah, it's on the AIA on the second page.
Sir, I had a question. So you said the grant was $500,000, but the fee is 10%?
Yeah, it's usually 10% of the construction cost. But the way I saw it this morning, I was like, well, wait a minute, we're not furniture, you buy furniture, we shouldn't have 10% of.
So that's actually a savings to the county.
Yes, it's a savings for the
So
county.
instead of a $50,000 fee, your fee
like-
would be
it's-
35.2.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 35,000, yes. And our biggest worry in this, the building's amazing, and kudos to you all, y'all, talking to Judge, the price and everything at the building for, you stole that building, it's really nice. The biggest challenge we see within the remodeling is the electrical, and meaning if we have to reconfigure restrooms for ADA, so basically like the electrical and the plumbing could be one of the biggest challenges that we see. But again, going over this morning, I said, well, we shouldn't be including, the furniture in the cost, so that's why.
That's good.
It's gonna be-
Thank you
We're
all
always
for
gonna be
being-
fair and do good work for you.
Okay, so that's, that was, you answered one of my questions, it was a percentage, so that's 10% of the.
The actual construction.
Yes, the actual construction, and the rates that are on the contract, or it says employee and category, and it has the different categories and the different rates, that's only if we include something different, correct?
Yeah, that is if there's a change, or all of a sudden you get another grant, or as we're doing the building, you say, well, do something outside of the scope, and you went up for like an hourly rate, or if it's something that's gonna take 8 hours or 10 hours to do, you have a schedule of rates to do there. But, yeah, but the rates are there just for information, and then if there's something that comes up.
And
But,
in the grant, we do have, of course, we have the scope, and we do have the budget that we submitted with the grant application, but
Yes.
depending on what y'all draft up and the pricing, we may have to adjust those numbers.
Yes, sir.
But other than that, I think, Mr. Guerra, I think you agree that the contract is a good contract. All you added was the addendum, and
Yes.
everything's good.
Yes,
correct?
it's ready for approval with the contingent on them also agreeing to the addendum.
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we approve this contract contingent that they approve their addendum, and we can move forward.
Second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion carries.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you all, and again, appreciate it, and thank you for allowing us to be of
Very
service.
impressed with your personnel that you brought. You had an entourage of about 9 or 10 people. And
Right.
had your architects, had your engineers.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate that you all think how important this is to us.
Yes, sir.
And it is very important to us.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Thank you very much.
I'm blessed with a great team, and it's blessed with great clients like yourselves as well. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
sir.
Agenda item number 8, Commissioner Precinct 1, George Aguilar. 8.1, discuss, consider, and take action on 2000 Mack dump truck, VIN number 1M1AE06YXYW002706.
Commissioners, Judge, we have this old truck that we need to get rid of. It's costing us too much in repair and maintenance, so we just like to get rid of it.
Motion to approve.
Second.
That's C&M, brother? C&M auction.
Yes, CNM, through CNM auctions.
And I do want to make a correction, because I don't think I said the word auction. Discuss, consider, and take action to auction. All right?
Okay.
I missed that word, but I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 9, Commissioner Precinct 2, Ventura Garcia, 9.1, discuss, consider, and take action as per request by Tilos Vino to for approval for temporary sale of alcohol at the 2026 Best of Alice Reader's Choice Awards at the Jim Wells County Fairgrounds, Wednesday, June 24th, 2026.
Yeah, they want a temporary license, Judge, to, sell, alcoholic beverages on their events.
And I think they had the event there last year, and we did the same thing, correct?
Yeah, it was I think, Televinos, they do the licensing.
Motion to approve items presented, Judge.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 10, discuss, consider 10, Commissioner Precinct 1, Renee Kerhoff. 10.1,
Three.
Precinct 3.
Precinct 3.
Precinct 3, Renee Kerhoff. 10.1, discuss, consider, and take action on landowners petition to permanently close County Road 335.
I had a couple of landowners come up, and it's a partial, Caliche partial dirt road that actually comes off of County Road 2044, straight into like a residence. And then on the other side of the residence, the road goes down to County Road 331, which is actually another dirt road through a farmer's field. And they've got all the signatures, they posted it, it's been posted on both sides of the road. And so we brought it to court for approval.
They went through the process, they went through the whole process.
That's correct, Commissioner. I prepared the petition for their signature, and we got the signatures of the landowners. It's a 1 mile stretch. It's only 1 mile, so there weren't that many landowners. And then we got the number of, it requires a certain number of signatures of people that live in the precinct. Some of the landowners own the property, but don't live there. So we couldn't count, we needed their signature for permission, but they don't count towards the 8. But Commissioner, along with one of the landowners, Mr. Perkins, were able to gather enough signatures, get the petition signed, get it posted for the number of days it needed to be up. We have photos that they have submitted to us. I think, Isabel, did you get those?
Yes, sir,
So everything's okay?
I believe so.
It didn't have to get approved before we started the process?
No, it's initiated by the landowners. The landowners sign a petition and then post it, and then they bring it to you.
Mostly they all sign off on it, right?
Yes,
That's the main thing,
everybody that owns land on either side of that road signed off on it. And we're trying to
So
get that.
is it gonna be a public right away, or, I mean, not public, but a landowners right away?
Yes, there should be an order there. You have it, Judge?
Yes.
And there's language in there that says nothing in here, grants additional or diminishes the rights of the private landowners to continue to use it as an access road to their property. So anybody that lives on either side of the road would still have a right to use it.
What's the length of the road?
almost 1 mile, or right at one.
Exactly 1 mile. Yeah,
1 mile.
exactly 1 mile.
Okay, and this is also gonna get recognized that she's gonna lose the precinct's gonna lose a mile off the
Yes.
budget.
If you don't have a problem with it.
Just to recognize it.
You want to make a motion? You want to make a motion to close it, or?
Add that subtract mile.
I make a motion to permanently close County Road 335.
Let's second it.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And go ahead and count me as an aye on that, because I think we all have to agree to that.
Well, the commissioner of the precinct, for sure, has to be in. This is one of those where each commissioner has an override authority.
Agenda item number 11, Jim Wells County Constables. 11.1, discuss, consider, and take action to approve Texas Local Government Code 86.012 to authorize the appointment of reserve deputy constables, to establish a maximum number of reserve deputies, constables positioned for each constable precinct.
Yeah, that's Constable Albert's item.
Right, that's, Mr. Item. Pardon? I think your item is next.
Yes. He's
Your
11.
item is next, that one's,
This is a presentation for what you just.
oh, it is it? Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Constable. Judge, Commissioners, Precinct 1 Constable Albert Martinez. I'm here on behalf of the constables for Jim Wells County for the non-paid, which are reserve deputies. When I came into office in 2019, we already had a deputy there. And so it's been enhanced. I do have currently 7. But I'm coming back for Commissioner's Court to get that approval. So I went ahead and had it placed on the agenda, spoke to all the constables as requested, and I've got a number for each constable precinct that we're requesting just authorization to have those in place. They're non-paid. We utilize them for events, for patrols, for the fair, for a number of things. So
So, we're gonna approve the maximum number of reserve deputies, so that number,
well, for Constable Jim Long, which I spoke to him, requesting 6, currently has 4. For Constable Geraldis Mendez, he has 0, but requesting 2 in the event that he appoints. And then Precinct 1, currently have 7, requesting 12. I've had up to 11. Right now, I'm at 7. They're all certified, just like all the other constables, bonded, certified, and what they do. And then I did get to speak to Constable Frank before they sent him to San Antonio, and he currently has 2. He was requesting 2. And I did speak to Constable Bypass Ray, but Constable Escamilla is at 10, requesting 10. He has 10.
okay, so, the number.
So there are different numbers, different demographic areas, different areas of responsibility.
But the number that we have to approve today is 12?
No, you're going to approve a different number for each precinct.
Right.
So for precinct 1, it's 12. For precinct 3, it is 6. For precinct 4, it's 2. For precinct 5, it's 2. And for precinct 6, it's 10.
Any questions? Yeah, I had a question. So these guys don't all work at the same time, you just rotate them, right? Yeah, mine work 18 hours a month, so between, well, the one, I usually have from Tuesday to Friday, one officer that works a total of 9 hours a day. I was reading here, for Precinct 3, my reserve deputies are required to work 20 hours per month. Their duties are patrol, investigate, and civil process. They have instrumental in transporting prisoners from various agencies of the state and are picked up upon warrants from offices. Interesting. Okay.
I make a motion, we approve with the numbers that were listed by Mr. Guerra. Is there any, can I get a second?
Second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Yes.
Thank you.
These numbers, are they going to be permanent, or can these be asked for more down the road as applicants are
Well, see.
qualified or applicants are available?
See, that's why I asked my question, if the number we're looking for is 12, because if Constable Martinez has 12, then we set it at 12 and not give an opportunity for everybody to have 12. I'm not, that's why I asked, because if we say 2 for you, then that number is gonna hold tight for.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Can we come back and petition the court again to ask for more, or should that even be necessary?
Well, that's-
There's no exposure to the county for reserves, it's free law enforcement.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying we probably should approve a higher number for everybody, as long as you all can have the equipment for them and everything. Two is, locks you down to two, so.
My reserves, they don't do any civil. I got the exemption for that. They're just strictly criminal. We've done search warrants, arrests, transports, numerous traffic citations, everything. Nothing, they work 20 hours a month. That's what I require out of them.
What number are you looking for?
I have 6 on there right now because I've had 7 others apply that, to me, they're not qualified.
So you're looking for a number higher than 6 then?
Not right now, but maybe down the road. That's what I'm getting at. Down the road, if I want 8, what do I need to do? Do we need to approve everybody at 12 or what?
The way it's written right now, you would have to come back. Perhaps, Judge, the solution is to rescind the motion and make it 12 across the board.
That's what I'm saying.
Whether you need them or not, you have that capacity without having to come back every time, which would be really cumbersome.
Yeah, that was my recommendation from the beginning, because, so I rescind my motion, and I make a motion that we approve 12 for each one of the constables today, that way you don't have to bring it back.
Second motion.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 11.2, discuss, consider, and take action on accepting the donation of a 2014 Ford Expedition from Wyatt Ranches to Jim Wells County for the use by the Office of Constable Precinct 6, authorizing the Jim Wells County Judge to execute any title, registration, and transfer documents necessary to accept the donation, and directing that the vehicle be added to the county's inventory.
Morning, Commissioner, County Judge. I come in, ask y'all for the approval for this 2014 expedition.
State
I'll
your
be
name.
Constable Ray Escamilla, Precinct 6, Jim Wells County. I'll be replacing a 2011 Chevy Tahoe that was assigned from the Sheriff's Office. I'm previous constable. It's an unsafe unit, and it just needs to be retired, sold at auction. And 2011, yes, sir. It's in the inventory. And this vehicle will be utilized by the reserves that I have. They have full-time jobs, but the ones that can assist will be assisting on patrol, civil, and whatever we need them for events. And I just need to get it striped up and radio and ready to go.
Motion to approve item 11.2 is presented, Judge.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion needed?
I gave the title, Judge, to Cindy and everything for the transfers and everything.
Thank you.
sir.
I'd like to thank the Wyatt Ranches for donating the vehicle to Jim Wells County and to you, Constable, for your usage. We appreciate them very much. We thank them for the donation. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item 11.3, discuss, consider, and take action on request from Constable Jim Long for a new line item in the amount of $4,500 for expenses incurred to transport prisoners arrested on warrants issued by Jim Wells County.
Yeah, for 21 years, I've never had to go transport prisoners back from another county to Jim Wells on our warrants. We've had 2 so far. One, we had to travel to Odessa to bring a subject back. One, we had to travel to Giddings to bring a subject back. Sheriff Department would not go transport. There's another one currently at Brazoria that if they don't get, we will go get. And the reason why, after 10 days, if they're in custody in another county and not transported, they're released. No bond conditions, no pretrial bond conditions are offered on those subjects. If they're transported to Jim Wells, when they make bail, the bond conditions are applied to those subjects. So, I mean, it would behoove everybody to have them back here. The Sheriff's Department will not go get them. When we went to Odessa, we got the mileage and everything. I sent a PO to the auditor and we were denied. I told her I wanted to put it on Commissioner's Court. We don't have a budget to go pick up people across the state. The sheriff department has a transport van, he has personnel. I don't know if, I think he has a contract with somebody to haul. We don't have that, so I'm trying to figure out, do I need a line item to haul these people? You know, I'm not gonna go across the state for free just to help Jim Wells County.
Why are we doing it now? All of a sudden,
For 21 years, I've never had to transport anybody.
Who directed you to go pick them up? I know a warrant was issued, but why is it your responsibility to go pick them up?
Because the sheriff will not.
What's the legal?
and what,
I have a,
normally does the sheriff?
I even have a
I have a question
teletype for the one in
Let me ask you-
Brazoria
let me
County
ask-
right now that he's ready for pickup. I called the jail on the way over here. They don't know if they're gonna go get him or not. The one that was in Giddings actually told my officers, his attorney had told the jail, that's what Jim Wells is known for, that Jim Wells will not travel this far to get somebody. That subject already bought a 10-day commissary card. When my guy showed up, well, I bought my card because in 10 days they're gonna turn me loose. No, you're going to Jim Wells. Jim Wells is known not to even go get these people. To me, that's not right.
How long has this been happening? Like,
I've been transporting for a month and a half.
well, to me, the thing is this, we all get a allowance for vehicle allowance, and that should all be included in there. It's not adjusting to, because we gotta go somewhere else, because there's days that you don't use this traveling allowance, budget, so it's included. We did this in the budget, we gave everybody a X amount of dollars increased, and that was it. Now, you're asking us to overrule something that the auditor has said no to, we can't do that.
Well, our travel allowance is for patrol here in Jim Wells.
It's
Not to
never,
go-
it's not specified as Jim Wells, it's an
Well,
allowance
but
for
that-
anywhere.
When I developed my budget, that was not known.
It's an allowance for everything. It's the way it is. It's travel allowance. But the part that it bothers me is that we can't overrule something that the auditor's saying.
My understanding is the auditor denied this because there is no line item to pay it out of.
Exactly.
Is that correct?
That is not true.
I'm sorry.
So my response to Constable Long was,
What's your name for the court?
yes,
Constable.
Cindy Garcia, County Auditor. After reviewing the reimbursement request for the fuel expenses related to prisoner transport, the county auditor must deny the request. Every constable already receives an annual travel allowance within its approved budget to cover travel-related expenses incurred throughout the year, including fuel costs associated with official duties. Because these travel expenses are already budgeted and allocated, additional reimbursement for fuel cannot be processed separately.
Okay, when I developed my budget, I didn't know I was gonna have to start doing transport. Because right now, I'm running about 44,000 miles a year on my vehicle. And $5 a gallon, or $4.50 it's a diesel, plus my reserve vehicle. I mean, that doesn't even cover the fuel.
Mr. Long, so you're the only one that transports inmates, not Constable Escamilla or Mr.
As
Martinez?
far as I know, yes, sir.
Y'all, they do go get inmates from other places?
Pardon?
They do transport inmates from another city to Alice?
The other constables, I do not believe, no.
So why do you, do you take it upon yourself to go get them? I mean, sheriff department is there, that's their duty.
Well, like I said, if they're released after 10 days, they're released with no pretrial bond conditions on their release. We're trying to fight crime in Jim Wells County, not let
I
these yahoos
understand
run
that.
straight.
But,
But the guy was somewhere else.
Pardon?
The guy was somewhere else. in
Yes,
Odessa.
that's where he was arrested, yes. The
guy
warrants
wasn't
are
here.
mine out of Jim Wells County.
I just feel that the allowance that we get per year covers your expenses. And there's gonna be days that you don't travel that much, so that it's included in there. We don't have we can't change the rules of the game in the middle of
The
the
line
the
item
game.
called, what's the title of the line item?
Travel.
Travel allowance.
That's it, right? There's nothing else.
It's the
We
same
just
one
increased
that
it last
every
year.
Every constable, every commissioner gets a travel allowance.
All constables get the same amount.
We balanced everybody out last year, or the year before.
And there was an increase to them or no?
Yes, sir. There were some that were different from others, and we evened out everybody.
I think if a warrant's issued, it's the responsibility of the entity, whether it be Alice Police Department or Sheriff Department, to go recover that inmate. If they turn them loose, that's on them, not, I don't think you should take that responsibility upon yourself. Other constables don't do it.
I didn't want to, but some of these for first-degree felony charges, I mean, if they're released with no bond conditions, I didn't want that.
That's,
What kind of crimes are they?
Pardon?
What kind of crimes were they?
First-degree felonies.
I know, but what was it?
One of them's engaging in organized criminal activity, theft of oil field material, over 300,000.
Oh, now I understand. Okay.
Well, so
But
far,
that's
all
not, that's
of
not the
them that we're
point. The
transporting
point
for
is
this.
the allowances you're given per year, and that's it. So you took it to the commissioner, to the auditor, and auditor's telling you, no, it doesn't cover this. It's not included here. It's included in your allowance. How can we overrule something that it's not our position to overrule?
I understand completely what you're saying.
That's the reason why they run under the district judge and not us, because if they say no, it's no.
Well, when we developed our budget, if I would have known we had to go transport prisoners, I would have asked for money for that case.
But there's a lot of
We
things
haven't
we don't
started
know.
until the last month and a half. The sheriff even asked me, we might even ask you to haul some of ours, Bullcorn. That's not my job.
should have been your answer. That's not my job.
Exactly.
And refuse-
It shouldn't be. That's my opinion.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know all the legal aspects of that responsibility, but I mean, can't say much on that legal aspect of it, but it's not your job.
That's the reason I was bringing it to Commissioner's Court, trying to get clarification so I can let people know.
If nobody else has anything to say, I'm gonna make a motion to deny this request, Judge.
I just don't know how you went from to doing it.
Like I say, for 21 years, I've never had to transport. Now, all of a sudden, oh, it's on me.
I have a motion on the table.
So the $4,500, that would have to be during budget hearings you're asking for more. It can't be done in the middle of the year. Nobody can.
Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Agenda item number 12, County Judge Pedro P. Trevino Jr. 12.1, discuss, consider, and take action to authorize the county judge to execute a telecommunications service agreement with Vested Networks pursuant to an approved cooperative purchasing contract TIPS in compliance with the Texas Local Government Code, Chapter 271. So we've had several discussions, and Vested Networks came to Commissioner's Court and provided a presentation of what they can provide to us. My biggest issue initially and currently was that we are in the middle of a budget year, and we did not appropriate any funds for a new contract. However, I did say that if there's are services that we're currently being rendered by other vendors, and we can sever the contracts or agreements with them in order to approve vested networks and their, what they can do for us, their services they can do for us will take the place of what the other vendor does for us. And Mr. Silva, he provided a cost of services that we will no longer be needed by 3 different vendors. Those costs total $14,900. If we do decide to change, we will not be adding a burden to the general fund in the middle of the year. The contract with Vested Networks is $5,700 a month, if I'm not mistaken. $5,782. In other words, if we do decide to go with Vested Networks, they provide us all the services and the telephones that we need to pretty much upgrade what we have. Would be actually saving us because, as I mentioned earlier, it's $14,900, $6.96. We would be getting rid of those charges and go into the contract for $5,782. That's just a little backstory. I think that we have a representative, Mr. Huff.
Hello. Yep.
I think
Yep.
Mr. was the one who did the presentation, correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Guerra or any of the commissioners, do you have any questions at this point? I know I wasn't here at the meeting when you did do the presentation, but I did review it. And one thing you said that caught my mind was, or my attention, was you know what you know and you don't what you don't.
Yep.
And I can tell you right now, I don't know 100% about phone systems, and I've learned a lot since we've been having our discussions and your presentation, and I feel comfortable because when we do have issues, or if we have questions or we have things that we have to upgrade, we are gonna lean on you guys. Because I see you guys as the professionals, and I'm sure the commissioners also. That being said, I think there was maybe one issue, and just going back to what I said earlier about the other vendors, I did want to make sure that Mr. Silva did talk to you, and that you all can fulfill and incorporate everything that those other 3 vendors were doing, so we can sever their contracts. And I say sever, but AT&T is basically it's changing some of their systems for their better. But we're getting caught up in the mix, and to my knowledge, you guys can fulfill those services. Correct. Can you unmute him, Robert?
No, that's correct. Yeah, we can handle everything, everything voice related. We will take care of for the county. 100%.
Anybody have any questions for me?
If there's a savings, Judge, I make a motion to approve.
I have a motion and second, very important point there. Mr. Guerra, did we have any issue?
I do have a question. Mr. Huff, you sent me an email a day or two ago, and then there was a follow-up saying to disregard. So
Yep, that was an error on my part. Your last name and Willacy County judge are very similar, so I apologize. Yeah, please disregard that.
Okay, I
Yeah,
appreciate being called judge, but I was wondering,
yeah,
what they were. So
yeah.
with our proposal, the question is Navitas, are we paying you directly, or we have to go through this third party?
Yeah, so what we do in order to be able to actually onboard everything at zero cost to the county is that we actually take we take the entire agreement and we put it into what's called an installment payment agreement with Navitas. They are our partner. They've been our partner for many years. Several of the counties around you, actually almost all of them, apart from Wilson, have all gone this same route, and they've been extremely happy with it as well. There's literally nothing extra, no hidden or any of that kind of stuff. They just facilitate the billing for the initial term. That's it.
The
And
only
then we work very closely. So if you ever have any questions about anything related to them or all that kind of stuff, all of our information is on their docs and all that kind of stuff. So we're very close. And so if you ever have any questions about it, your auditor or anybody that makes the payment, please reach out to me directly. I'll make sure to get any questions cleared up. If we need to extend it like net 30, net 45, whatever that looks like, you let me know as well.
And that was my concern, because in looking at that, we're involving a third party, and there's some language in there that says that if we get delinquent with them, they have the ability to remotely shut off our whole phone system. And that concerns me, because we have public safety issues at the sheriff's department. We can't go without, we can't be without phones, so.
They don't have, no, I appreciate you bringing that up. They don't have direct access to be able to do that. What happens is if we, get notice from them that, hey, they're behind on their payments, whatever it is, for one, we know that there's emergency services here, right? So one of our first responsibilities to you guys is to actually reach out and say, hey, what's going on? What's the payment? Like, were there any issues, right? I mean, sometimes there's issues or, stuff just happens. So we work to be able to rectify that. We've actually had issues with other hospitals and even other counties where there was just an issue with the payment being processed, or auditor or other kind of different bookkeeping issues, and it was just delaying the process. And so we informed everybody. Again, we have an open conversation with this, knowing that there are critical services that are affecting people. We, at the end of the day, we hold that key. And again, we have 39 counties in Texas now. You guys will actually be number 40. We understand this, and we're very much aware of the critical nature of all this stuff. And so we will make sure that everybody involved knows that, critical services come first, and the billing and the payment stuff, while necessary, it's a secondary thing.
Okay. And it's not that, we should have any issue, because we fully budget, during
Sure.
our budget cycle, we're gonna fully budget it. But sometimes things happen and the payment gets held up
Correct.
for whatever reason, or,
Yep.
and that's just a huge,
Absolutely. Yeah,
risk
Invested
for us.
Networks is the owner of this account, right? So we are the end person, right? Again, you have direct access to me as well. I control this stuff. So yeah, at the end of the day, our loyalties and service are to you guys, and to make sure that the residents can actually contact you guys and get things done. And so we will do everything in our power to make sure that there are no issues here. And if we need to, because again, we actually had an issue with Lamar County, where their auditor was like upset because they were getting late fees. And I said, well, what do y'all need? Like, and they said, oh, we just need net 45. And I said, oh, okay, hold on. All right, you'll have net 45 now, and we've removed all the late fees. Oh, okay, well, that was easy. Yeah. So again, it's just, communicate with us and let us know what's going on. We have the ability to make any changes we need to.
Okay, as long as we have your commitment that, if there is an issue, which we're not foreseeing any issues, but, you said that-
100%.
Yeah, you'd reach out to the auditor, and I'm sure we can work through it.
Yep.
You know, as long as we don't get cut off and then
Oh, yeah.
get around
If
wondering why.
it would be a very weird, yeah, blue moon kind of day if we ended up turning you guys off. That would be very strange. And, you know, again, my reputation, you know, being in the state of Texas and also, you know, 5 stars across the board with what we do in terms of customer service, my reputation personally is also on the line. So I'm putting everything into every account that we go into to ensure that for one, we don't go down. We ensure that you guys stay up and running and all those services stay up and going. And obviously that's on the billing side as well. So yeah, our team is committed to that, and as am I.
Judge, I got a question. So when does this start?
When does the agreement start?
Yes, if we approve it, when will it take effect?
So yeah, that's a great question. So one of the unique things that we do is the proposal that you all have in front of you all today, the proposal in the Navitas docs that you have, that when you sign that and send it back to us, that gets the process started. We do not lock anything in until we are fully done with the.
So is this gonna be a yearly, 2 years worth? Contract?
Five.
5-year contract?
It's a 5, right?
And
Yeah,
there's
it's a 5-year agreement. And
we're
that ensures that everything remains stable for the entirety of there's no variability here. And so what we'll do is once everything is fully complete and onboarded and y'all been trained, the numbers have moved over to us from your existing carrier, all that stuff is done. Y'all then actually have an acceptance agreement as well. That will then come to y'all and y'all sign up and say, yep, everything's been installed, it's good to go. At that point is when everything starts.
I have another question for Robert. We're going to pay for this with savings from no longer having to pay our existing vendors, which I think are 3 or 4. Are any of those existing contracts locked in, or are they all month to month where we can get out of them immediately if we need? And the reason I ask is I don't want to have to be double paying simply because we're locked in until the end of the year.
This is Robert Silva, IT department. To answer your question, with the other vendor that currently maintains our system, well, it's not locked on. We could terminate it, but we have to pay the terminate fee. But I'm going to provide you the contract. We feel it. Because it's a 1 year, it's supposed to expire in March or April. Yes,
Of next year?
next year, sir.
And how much is the termination fee?
I believe, I have to look it up carefully and appear to you. I think it's like 1 month payment or 30%, I can't remember,
So about $3,000?
pretty much.
And is that with J&H?
I gotta double check, look at it, and send it to you, sure.
J&H?
J&H, yeah.
Okay. What about the other providers?
Well, other AT&T bill that we're focused on eliminate are on month to month. We're not on a contract that. We could terminate it, but we don't want to terminate it yet. I wanted to work with Veteran Network, make sure the project goes smoothly, you know.
Yep. Yeah, please do not cancel anything until we are done. Please.
Fully done with the onboarding.
Sounds good.
Okay, I have a motion, I have a second. Is there any further discussion?
Who made the motion?
Ventura and,
Okay.
any other?
No, sir.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and I'm an aye on that one too.
Thank you all so much. Yeah, I'll look forward to getting everything moving for you guys.
And I've talked to a few agencies that y'all contract with right now. They had nothing but good things to say, so.
Yay, perfect. Yeah, and we just finished onboarding San Patricio County as well, and they have 400 users, so, you know, about 165 more than you guys, and 20 some odd locations, and we did them in about a week and a half. So I fully expect this one, y'all's account to take about 2 weeks to fully install and onboard, so.
Great.
All righty, thank you so much.
Absolutely, thank you all so much.
Agenda item 12.2, discuss, consider, and take action to permanently designate a Cameron Street entrance location located on the east side of Jim Walls County Courthouse as the county's official main entrance and official location for the posting of public notices, foreclosure sales, sheriff sales, tax sales, execution sales, and all other activities required by Texas law to occur at the courthouse door, courthouse entrance, courthouse steps, or other designated courthouse postings location. So,
So,
go ahead.
Judge, Commissioners, of course, you know, we went over this issue last time when we realized, and the sheriff brought to our attention, that the public could not access our current board because of the construction going on. So we put it on the agenda as a temporary move to Cameron Street. After that was posted, we realized, or I realized, that that change needed to be made permanent because a couple of years ago, when we closed off 3 of the entrances to the courthouse, then the statute says the only place that we can post notices now is at the entrance that's accessible to the public. I think I went out with, was it you, Judge, or someone from the clerk's office? On the south side of the steps, there's the ramp. So the only option would be the north side of the steps to construct something there. And it's going to have to be permanent now because the statute requires that notices be published at the entrance to the courthouse where the district court is held in the county. And the only entrance to the courthouse where the district court is held is the one on Cameron Street.
So we did put a temporary one on the south side where we can utilize until we construct the one on Cameron Street for the lack of space or better place to do it on Cameron Street without having any issues with safety and security. So what we are looking at is, of course, erecting those signs where Mr. Guerra said, but we do want to probably have add a little concrete that'll go to that side, maybe a 10 by 10 or 12 by 12, whatever we see fit, and then erecting that next to the courthouse. That'll give space where they're doing the auction sales or whatever they're doing there, they'll be able to congregate there with enough space and not be on the grass, not be off the sidewalk, or be in any way of the entrance of the Cameron side of the courthouse. I'll make a motion, we approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item 12.3, discuss, consider, and take action to adopt a local state of disaster declaration for Jim Walls County due to the threat of the new world screwworm as it threatens Jim Walls County wildlife, livestock industry, and poses an imminent threat or occurrence to widespread and severe property damage pursuant to Chapter 418 of the Texas Government Code. As we all know, we do have an issue with the New World screwworm. We've been following it very diligently. We've gone to Hebbronville and did go through some training and some education for it. For a lot of us, I'm talking about ourselves and commissioners and elected officials, not only in Jim Walls County, but all around the state of Texas. This is something new to us. We're all doing everything we can to educate ourselves of what it entails. I know the governor has called for a state of emergency. Today, I'm asking Commissioners Court to approve this. We do have Rogelio Mercado that'll give us a little bit more information on it.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Rogelio Mercado, County Extension Agent in Jim Wells County. Appreciate your support and your actions on this as bringing awareness to the situation. As a lead into your declaration, I'll give you a quick update. As of this morning, as I try to follow the websites of USDA and Texas Animal Health Commission as well, there are now currently 9 cases in the United States, 8 of which are in Texas now. And that is only in the last 9 days, since the first case was reported or officially announced on June 3rd. We have 3 cases in Zavala County, and those are cattle. 2 cases in LaSalle, and those are cattle as well. 1 case in Gillespie County, which is a goat. And now Edwards County is reporting a goat and a cow as well. And there's that 1 case of a dog in New Mexico, southeastern part of New Mexico as well. So for the United States, it is 9 cases that have been officially reported. We do continue to get phone calls and conversations of other possible cases, but until our government entities announce them as official, we'll just, we've got to follow their guidelines in that aspect. Before the meeting, I placed 2 items on your desk, and there's a publication, one of many that Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has placed on our websites, and I can print those out to your needs. If you have needs for any of the publications that are on websites, we can print those out and make those accessible for your office and constituents. The big part about this particular publication is that it contains the 2 authorities that are our reporting authorities. We are in a monitor, report, and protect stage at this point in time. So we ask our constituents, our clientele, to continue to monitor their livestock. And then if they see anything suspicious in a possible case of the screwworm, is to go ahead and report that to, if it's livestock, to the Texas Animal Health Commission. If it is anything out in the wildlife and out in the range, that goes to Texas Parks and Wildlife. And that information is right there on that front page. Of course, our urban or our city folks that have pets also need to be aware that it can possibly affect them as well. Our local veterinarians are to go-to people as resources there, and they too will report directly to Texas Animal Health Commission and anybody else as in that aspect. On the back of that publication, as we distribute more publications, I'll continue to put the information of our office as well so that our clientele can reach out to me if they can. Prior to the outbreak, we had already been planning a beef, cattle, and wildlife seminar, health seminar, and we're going to include the information or provide an update on the New World screwworm as well. That kind of is taking a little bit lead. It's kind of taking the forefront of the whole presentation. The meeting that we're hosting is next week, the 17th of June, starting at 12 noon with registration and lunch. And then we'll start the program off right at 1 o'clock there at the Jim Wells County Fairgrounds in the Merchants Building. I encourage everybody to please RSVP by calling our office at 668-5705. As of this morning, we're already bumping about 100 people who have called in and RSVP'd. We've got 4 speakers lined up. Dr. Sonia Swiger, who's our extension entomologist out of Stephenville, Texas, and she is the person who's in charge of the educational efforts of the New World screwworm for our agency. Dr. Marcus Bloom is our extension wildlife specialist from College Station, and then Dr. Wayne Crouch, who is our regional director for Texas Animal Health Commission, will also be here, and he's going to explain one of the bigger parts of because Texas Animal Health is more the law enforcement agency of this situation. He'll explain to our producers and our clientele what the protocol will be for movement restrictions or quote unquote quarantines for our livestock, wildlife, or whatever it may be once we find screwworm in our area. So he'll be addressing that. And then at the very end, Dr. Carl Harberth, who's our livestock specialist out of Corpus Christi, will talk about basic management practices for our livestock in terms of dealing with the New World screwworm as well. What we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing. Awareness is important, but being alarmed about it is not. We need to continue to be aware. I want to thank Melissa Trevino with Channel 6 News. She posted an interview with Ms. Susan Kibbe yesterday, and is bringing publicity as a lead into our program. I haven't seen them yet live, but Commissioner Gonzalez has got some real neat posters announcing the program as well. And I appreciate y'all's efforts as well in terms of getting the word out to our community.
As a matter of fact, Mr. Mercado, one of them was put here at the feed store on 281, and then the other one was put at Tractor Supply. And
That's great.
one in Bemboo, and then the rest were in Fremont.
We appreciate that. Any questions that I can assist with?
No, and, we appreciate you too. I know we had a meeting here, with Tatum and with, several other, departments, county departments, and some local officials, and officials from the surrounding area. We can expect, Mr. Lance Brown, our emergency manager, to pump out some information and include some of these, flyers that you posted.
Yes, sir.
And, the important thing is right now, I'm going to ask the commissioners, and court to approve the disaster declaration so we can file it and we can, try to get ahead of the ball game here. Very important that the school room is, there's some things that need to happen, when it's been detected. You have to know some things about it in order to detect it and know exactly what to do when you do detect it. So we'll put all those out to our constituents and residents. That's what makes it so hard, because any animal with an open wound, including humans, is susceptible to it. So could end up being something very, very tragic, but we're hoping that doesn't happen. At this point, if I can have,
If I may, can I just add one little thing? I know when we were out there in Jim Hog, one of the biggest concerns from the lady from Laredo, what's her name?
Sandra Linedecker, Dr.
Linedecker, yeah.
Linedecker.
Was that failure to report it is a big concern, because a lot of ranchers are gonna say, well, I don't want him to quarantine me, so I'm not gonna say anything, blah, blah, blah. And it's not the issue that they're gonna fine you or do anything. It's just a matter that they wanna find it to be able to address it faster and try to keep it in isolated areas, so.
So the word movement restrictions is real important in that aspect, because they're not going to completely quarantine you where you cannot move. But they do want to be able to inspect, and if there is a problem, Texas Animal Health Commission, and I'm talking about the livestock producers, will then provide treatment and re-inspect, and then go ahead and issue you the permit to move. So that is real important. And the biggest part of that is that if they know where the indigenous fly is, then they can bring in and start distributing the sterile fly for us.
Rogelio,
Yes, sir.
do you know if, like, so those counties that are quarantined, if people from here take their pet in the truck and then they end up over there and, you know,
Most likely, Commissioner, that is one of the biggest concerns, you know, the human aspect of it, you know, the human component of moving livestock or moving pets. We were having the conversation prior to coming up here, just the movement of show animals across the whole state of Texas. We have our county show. We've got our validations tomorrow morning. We as the Fair Association, as part of the Fair Association, we're taking proactive movements. One, sharing information with our families that are going to be coming in tomorrow and validating as we tag those animals. If they don't have a previous tag, then we're creating an open wound. The Fair Association has already, you know, purchased some products so we can treat the wound, and then we're being proactive and informing each family one-on-one as they come through the validation process of what they need to be doing, or at least monitoring the situation, and then providing them with the information to contact us or Animal Health Commission if they need that. But yes, the movement of livestock and animals in any which way is going to be partially our fault.
to your knowledge, do you know the Texas Commission of Animal Health is restricting pets across the border?
I don't know what they actually imposed after the New Mexico case. We'll learn more about that on.
An article yesterday saying that they're looking at, you gotta get a approval paperwork, some kind of paperwork to be able to cross it back.
It's a smart thing to do. Yes, sir.
And I know that the producers and our ranchers and the people that do this every day, they're gonna be very vigilant. I'm worried about the smaller little acreages and families that have pet, 2 or 3 pet cows or pigs or whatever it is. And they have to be very, very vigilant and diligent if they see an open wound on an animal. That's the main thing, because the spread of it is, how quickly it can spread is
The other,
mind-boggling.
the other concern, well, at least these animals like cattle and goats, you can see them every day, but the wildlife is a dangerous one because fawns are about to fall and that's their most susceptible. You can't see them. They're not friendly to human nature. They tend to hide, and God knows what's going to happen there. So,
They are a host that we will not be able to treat as regular as our domestic livestock will be.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
that's
Big,
my
big concern there.
Yeah.
All right, at this point, I'll have, Ms. Isabel, can you read the declaration? Long one. It has a couple of words in there that's,
I haven't even really read it, so, okay. Isabel Trevino, County Judge's Executive Assistant. Declaration of Local State of Disaster regarding the threat of New World Screwworm. Whereas the State of Texas Disaster Act of 1975 authorizes the presiding officer of the governing body of a political subdivision to declare a local state of disaster if the presiding officer finds that a disaster has occurred or that the occurrence or threat of disaster is imminent, and whereas Section 418.108A of the Texas Government Code authorizes the county judge as presiding officer of the governing body of the county to declare a local state of disaster upon the occurrence or threat of disaster. And whereas the Texas Animal Health Commission is charged with protecting the livestock, domestic animals, and poultry of this state and with controlling animal diseases and animal pests, and county commissioners' courts shall cooperate with and assist the commission when requested, as provided by Section 161.003 of the Texas Agricultural Code. And whereas Section 418.190 of the Texas Government Code requires the Texas Animal Health Commission to prepare and maintain an agriculture emergency response plan as an annex to the State Emergency Management Plan. And whereas on January 29, 2026, the Governor of Texas issued a statewide disaster declaration to prevent the spread of the New World Screwworm fly, stating that although the pest is not yet present in Texas or the United States, its northward spread from Mexico toward the southern border poses a serious threat to Texas livestock and wildlife. And whereas the New World Screwworm, okay, this is a word that I cannot pronounce, Cochleomyia hominavorax, is a destructive parasitic pest whose larvae infest living warm-blooded animals and can cause severe injury, death, and substantial losses to livestock, wildlife, companion animals, agricultural operations, and related commerce. And whereas Jim Wells County is vulnerable to significant harm to livestock, agriculture, wildlife resources, related business activity, and property interest if the threat of New World Screwworm materializes within the county. And whereas the county judge of Jim Wells County finds that the threat of an introduction or spread of New World Screwworm constitutes an imminent threat of disaster
with it the meaning of the Texas Disaster Act, and that extraordinary measures are warranted to prepare for, prevent, respond to, and mitigate that threat. Now therefore pursuant to Section 418.108 of the Texas Government Code, I, Pedro P. Trevino Jr., County Judge of Jim Wells County, Texas, as presiding officer of the governing body of Jim Wells County, hereby find that the threat of disaster arising from the potential introduction and spread of New World screwworm is imminent, and declare a local state of disaster for Jim Wells County, Texas. 1. Declaration. A local state of disaster is hereby declared for Jim Wells County, Texas, due to the imminent threat posed by New World screwworm. 2. Activation of emergency management measures. This declaration activates the appropriate recovery, mitigation, preparedness, and response aspects of all applicable local and interjurisdictional emergency management plans, and authorizes the furnishing of aid and assistance under this declaration. 3. Coordination with state and federal agencies. The county's emergency management coordinator and other appropriate county officials are directed and authorized to coordinate with all appropriate agencies and stakeholders regarding surveillance, reporting, public information, preparedness, and response activities related to the New World screwworm threat. Use of county resources. All available county resources reasonably necessary to cope with the threatened disaster are authorized for use in accordance with applicable law. 5. Public information and protective actions. County officials are authorized to use and disseminate guidance to livestock owners, veterinarians, agricultural operators, exhibitors, and the public concerning identification, reporting prevention and response measures relating to the New World screwworm threat. 6. Filing and publicity. This declaration shall be given prompt and general publicity and shall be filed promptly with the county clerk in accordance with Section 418.108C of the Texas Government Code. 7. Duration. This declaration shall remain in effect for not more than 7 days unless continued or renewed by the Commissioners Court in accordance with Section 418.108B of the Texas Government Code. 8. Request for assistance. Pursuant to Code 418.012 and 418.016 of the Texas Government Code, Jim Wells County requests that the governor authorizes the suspension or superseding of any such regulatory statutes and rules, including Texas Agricultural Code 141, and that would in any way prevent, hinder, or delay the emergency approval and implementation of effective feed-through treatments that would prevent the continued spread of NWS in wildlife and livestock. Declared and ordered this 12th day of June 2026 at 9:00 a.m.
Thank you. That was a long one. Lance, on the 7 days, is it 7 consecutive days?
So the way, Lance Brown, Jim Wells County Emergency Management, the way that we did the declaration earlier was you could do the declaration and it would last for 7 days. But now that we're bringing it to Commissioners Court, you can have a start date without an end date, so we don't have to bring it back, just like what we did with the disaster for the water. With the courts, you can start a declaration and you can leave it open for a year, 2 years, but once the problem's away, eventually you have to have an end date. But right now you can leave it open until you get ahead of this, so you don't have to keep up with it. That's the way we read it in that code that we did with the water.
Yeah, the reason I asked, I want to make sure, because it was 7 consecutive days. The 7th day is next Friday. Next Friday, we're off, and then we're basically all out next week for the judges and commissioners conference.
I mean, you could probably, start off and do it for 6 months or so, or at least for 30 days. I would do it more than just 7 days.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, do it for 6 months and we'll put it on the calendar and see where we're at in 6 months.
I wanted to make sure,
Mr. Rogelio, what are your thoughts on it?
I'm not versed with
yeah.
protocol on that. But it is a problem that we'll probably be facing for more than, a few months, so.
Do this, Lance, before we take a vote on it, I'll pause this agenda item and come back to it. Can you call Brenda and, make sure that we don't have to comply with the 7 days first, and then after the 7 days, we could do the indefinite? Yes, sir. Okay. We'll move forward. We'll come back to agenda item 12.3 in a second. 12.4, presentation by Chris Watson from 5 to review possible future electricity contract.
Yes, good morning, Judge. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, because
Yes, sir.
Yes. Well, great. Well, thank you for having me. Let me share a presentation real quick. Oh,
No, of what he sent us?
Yeah.
Yeah, just what you have there. Did you want me to go make some copies?
Well, I wanted some for the commissioners, that way they can follow.
I can go make some good copies.
See if you can go right there real quick. It's gonna be pretty. Go ahead, Mr. Watson.
but would you like for me to share my screen, or will that not
That'd be
show
good.
for?
Be good.
Okay, perfect. I will do that. Very good. Well, good morning. My name is Chris Watson. The company I work for, 5, we manage the county's electricity contracts. Currently, the county is in a contract with Shell, and that ends in April of 2027. Your current rate is 5.9 cents. And what we're discussing today is I want to give you just a very quick update on the market and what we're seeing, and then our recommendation to move forward fairly quickly in order to lock in your next contract to try to mitigate some risk for the county of the prices continuing to go up. The big thing that we're facing here in Texas is demand growth. So this chart that I have on my screen, this is directly from ERCOT. This was from about a year ago, and you can see they're monitoring the peak demand for the entire state going back from 2002 to current day. They just came out and we're projecting our peak demand for this summer to be at roughly 92,000 megawatts. And then you can see on the screen that by 2035, they were projecting 227,000 megawatts. Now, this is from data that was received from all the different utilities across the state. So keep in mind, these are all requests that have gone to the utilities that then get bundled up and by ERCOT and put onto this graph. Not all of that load will come, but the moral of the story is we are expecting, or we are seeing and also expecting insane growth on our demand here on the grid in ERCOT. Just this past April, so a couple months ago, ERCOT updated this number. And if they were to look at all of the requests made to the different utilities across the state, we would go from roughly 92,000 megawatts of demand this summer to a demand of 367,000 megawatts by 2032. Now, again, not all of that is going to show up, but even if a fraction of it shows up, we're still in an insane growth mode across the state. Now, just you don't have to have an economics degree to understand that if demand goes through the roof, but supply does not keep up at the same pace, prices are affected. So we have seen prices climb here, and I'll kind of explain this graph. This is looking at annual prices for different electricity calendar years, going back from 2018 on the left side to current day on the right side. So each calendar year has a price, and we like to monitor this in order to advise our clients on when to lock in their contracts. A zoomed in version of that, you can see this is a 3-year look back. But you can see it's been climbing since really September of 2024. We have seen some relief here recently, but we did bottom out kind of right before May, and it is starting to climb back up. This is why our recommendation is to move forward fairly quickly and go ahead and get a renewal contract in place. Because if we go into the heat of this summer without something in place, my concern is that the prices will continue to just climb and we'll have to renew the county at a much higher price. Last thing on kind of the markets, and then I'll talk about prices here. Most people in our industry, we all agree on that in the next 5 years, prices will be higher. What we don't all agree on is how much higher they will be. Our job, we don't have a crystal ball, but our job is to just look at the potential risks that are out there and then advise against those risks and look at how much room is there to go up versus how much room is there to come down in the market. Currently, we're at the 6 to 7 cent range right now. In other markets around the country, in the Northeast, for example, where we do a lot of business, we're seeing 10, 11, 12 cent prices. There are people in our industry that think in the next 5 years we could see 15 cent prices or higher. I think that that's a bit of a stretch, to be honest, but is 8 to 12 cent prices in the range of possibility? Absolutely. Because the only thing that is kind of helping to keep pace with all of this demand is solar and battery. If we drop down too much, a lot of that will stop. If it continues to go up, that will incentivize more generation to come to the state. And so we really do have to compete almost on a national level to incentivize more generation to come to Texas in order to keep pace with the growing demand that we're seeing. So last but not least, this was from last week, some prices that came in from different suppliers. You can see we're in the mid to higher 6 cent range, and then some supplier or other suppliers in the 7+ cent range. Again, you're currently at 5.9 cents. My concern is that if we do have some volatility this summer, you know, a 6.7 could turn into a 7.7 or an 8+ cent rate pretty easily. Now, if we don't, could we see that number come down into maybe the low sixes? Absolutely, that's a potential, but I always look at how much are you risking on the upside of potential volatility in it going up versus how much room is there for the market to move down. And so that's why we wanted to update everybody today, so that you're aware of kind of what's happening. And again, this would be for a contract that would not start until April of next year. So I'll pause there. I threw a lot of information at you quickly. Answer any questions you might have.
So our current contract, if this one doesn't start till 2027, all we're doing is locking in the rate?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So Chris, if the market doesn't do what you think it's gonna do or what they project is gonna increase on the rates, is there a clause in the contract to say, hey, did increase this much, can we maintain a lower rate?
No, sir. You would be locking in to whatever the contracted rate is. And, if the market goes up, well, you're protected against having to continue to go up in price. But let's say if you did lock in at a 6.7 cent rate, for example's sake, and the market does go down to a 6.5, you're still going to be locked in at that 6.7.
I
Um,
understand.
so,
You
yes,
would be
sir.
saving because you wouldn't be using as much, so technically you would just be using less, paying less, right? On your
I'm
bill.
sorry, can you restate the question?
I mean, you're locked in, but what I'm trying to say, Mr. Aguilar, is you're not gonna, if the usage goes down, you're not gonna pay a big bill. You'll pay less.
Correct. Yes. If your usage goes down, then yes, absolutely. You would be paying less.
No, I was just asking because sometimes there's some contracts on different utilities, if the rate goes down, then the consumer price goes down also. But I understand you locked it in the rate, that's what it is for the next 5 or whatever the term might be. And now these are just electricity charges, they're not transmission charges, correct?
Correct. Correct. Yes, sir. That is just the supply portion of your bill. That's the part that you have control over in contracting. The other part, the transmission delivery charges, those are regulated and stuff, but so that's going to remain the same no matter what supplier you go with or anything like that.
Chris, when did our current contract start?
It was a 4-year contract and it ends in April of 27. So that began in April of 2023. Yes, sir.
We did 4, and you're recommending 55 month?
Correct.
Okay. I was under the impression that the contract started when we approved it. So what we'll do is, we'll put it back on the agenda for the 26th. I
Okay.
know it might be slightly different, and we can make a determination or a decision whether we'd like to lock in the rate for our April 27th contract.
What do you wanna? Why would you table it?
It's a discussion.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Presentation only.
Apologize for that.
Yes, sir. And I can have updated prices for that meeting on you said the 26th.
Okay.
And that way you have the most up to date. And again, I understand it can be a bit confusing of, approving a price in a contract now, even though it doesn't start till April of 2027. The purpose of all of it is just trying to be proactive before we could see some fairly big potential volatility later this summer in the market, because it wouldn't take much for these prices to, I mean, as you can see, most of the suppliers are above 7 cents already. So, it could very easily get to 7.5, 8 cents. I mean, with not much extreme volatility in the market. So just trying to be proactive in protecting the budget for the county.
Chris, this is Michael Guerra, County Attorney. With respect to procurement, does your company fall into one of the co-ops or?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so we utilize tips.
Tips, okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any more questions? Mr. Watson, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And we'll be in contact for the 26th meeting.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 13, resolutions and proclamations. 13.1, discuss, consider, and take action on a proclamation for month of June recognizing as Elder Abuse Awareness Month. Is that one?
I don't know, where do you want me? We usually just stand back there, so you want us over here? Okay. Hi, good morning. Well, is it Morning.
Good morning. Can you state your name for the fourth?
Yes, it's Veronica Mosqueda, and I've been an investigator with the Department of Family and Protective Services for 6 years, the latter half with Adult Protective Services. And so I'm here basically just, I know that we get recognized for just the work we do and just provide any information that you all might need. I know usually we'll just kind of present ourselves, remind the community that we're, here, certain things that we do work with a lot of agencies in the area. And so anytime that anybody has or needs for us to maybe communicate or have a contact person, that's always something that we look for because unfortunately, it's, very scarce. Jim Wells is a lot, smaller. And so sometimes we do have to kind of go out into other communities for assistance and things of that nature. But it's always great to find here within Jim Wells as much resources, support that we can for our elderly community. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
I have a resolution or proclamation here. Would you like to read it, or would you rather not?
I'd rather not.
All right. Elder Abuse Awareness Month Proclamation. Whereas older adults and people with disabilities of diverse backgrounds contribute to the well-being of the city by working, caregiving, volunteering, and actively preserving customs, rituals, and traditions. And whereas, as we age, we build momentum by accumulating knowledge, experience, insight, and wisdom that can be shared and enrich our community. And whereas abuse of older adults and people with disabilities is a community concern affecting thousands of people across the state of Texas. And whereas we have 125,382 reports of elder abuse for older adults and people with disabilities in Texas in 2025. And whereas abuse against older adults and people with disabilities is grossly underreported because of social stigma, embarrassment, and fear. And whereas adults abuse affects men and women in all income and ability levels, all cultural and ethnic backgrounds, in all communities. And whereas elder abuse is everyone's business, it's important to strengthen our efforts to prevent, report, and address elder abuse. Now therefore, I, Honorable Pedro P. Trevino Jr., County Judge, in recognition of thereof, do hereby proclaim the month of June 2026 to be Elder Abuse Awareness Month. In Texas, we urge all residents to work together to reduce abuse and neglect of older adults and people with disabilities. This proclamation just reaffirms our commitment, Jim Wells County's commitment to the support and the awareness of the elder abuse population. And we are committed to the proclamation.
Just a question. Who actually, the most common way of reporting it?
There's several ways, actually. I mean, we have a dedicated line where all of the child protective and adult protective services cases are called into, but you can also go online. A lot of people do. It does delay. We have noticed that whenever they're online, it usually delays it by like a day or two for some reason with the system. And so if it's like an emergent type of situation, I always kind of recommend if you have the opportunity to call, it's always best, just because sometimes any other methods
And
does
anybody
delay.
can report it, right?
Anybody can report, yes. Usually they are, I think APS is the only ones that are accepting anonymous, because CPS did change their policies. But they do keep it anonymous for people that are afraid to call in. So for us, that's still an option.
Toby, did you have something?
How many cases do we have here in Jim Wells County yearly?
Yearly, I mean, I can tell you, it just really varies. I think it's just situational, but because I'm one of the ones here in the area, I can tell you that I can go from getting 10 cases in a week to getting, 5 to getting 2. So it just really kind of varies, from week to week.
We do have quite a bit of here in Jim Wells County.
We do, it's kind of in the surrounding. I do work partially with, some of the San Diego area. I do work some of them, Mathis. So collectively, I couldn't really tell you because they're all from everywhere. My unit in particular, we're very different from everyone else actually in Texas because we have actually counties that we work. Everybody else works on a system where they get like the next case over. So it's really hard for us to keep track. But on average, maybe I could get about 40 clients here in the general area.
And you generally, yearly or monthly or?
About monthly.
Thank you very much.
Sure, you're welcome.
What's the most common form of abuse on elderly people?
Neglect. I feel, neglect. It's usually medical neglect. I think there's a lot of people that don't have that help and support at home, family members, and so a lot of them are kind of left to their own to take their medications. And then so when somebody does finally figure out or they go to their doctor, they're not taking it as they should. So they start having, medical emergencies. And so sometimes that's kind of where we come in, try to get services in place, try to get family involved. And a lot of the times that's kind of what, is happening.
When you say neglect, would that be including, because the elder person lives by themselves and they're not taking their medication, or it's because somebody's not giving them the medication?
It's both. It really just comes down to, the client's ability to care for themselves. So, as we age, sometimes there's that memory starts to fail us. Some people, get that early onset dementia. And so it just really depends. But some people are dependent on family. Some do live alone. Some don't have family. So it's just really, most self-neglect is really what we get because it's the person, they're obviously.
So that would be considered abuse?
That would be neglect. Like it's medical neglect. But technically, it's a self-abuse type because you're not taking your own medication. So it gets to that point where if they do, let's say you're in charge of your mother because she has dementia and she relies on you because she's completely dependent, then it would be a neglect against you, as opposed to self-neglect because then she's dependent due to her diagnosis.
Okay, so the numbers
It is
change
just,
because you have self-neglect and then you have somebody supposed to be taking care of you but doesn't.
right.
Does that?
And the law is very we have a lot of gray area because, a lot of people, as an adult, you don't have to take care of your mother. You don't have to take care of your children. If they're adults, they are, responsible for themselves. And so we really can't say it's a neglect against somebody else unless they specifically have taken on that role of a caretaker. And that's what separates us from law enforcement is that.
And that's a very important part right there when you said they're elder, so they don't have to be taken care of by anybody else, right?
Right.
Yesterday I read an article on, I have 2 grandsons that are autistic. And the question was, what happens when they go to 18? It's not the parents anymore. They're on their own. So you got to prepare yourself for that moment.
Well, the parents should be responsible and they should be getting guided into getting guardianship because we do have a lot of
You have to
people.
make those changes
but because-
before it happens.
And
What I'm saying is the difference between the elderly and
Well,
autistic kid, he can't do it on his own.
with an elderly, that's also possible, but they would have to come to court and they would have to get guardianship through probate and, then an adult can take over and make those decisions for them, but that gets a little messy sometimes with that because clients, it's hard sometimes to determine what level of dementia they have or if they can make decisions. So you have to go through a long process sometimes with those cases. More often than not, sometimes it resolves because the client, you can only live with dementia for a while. Everybody is different. And so sometimes it's to the point where it's so severe already that they're probably at the later end of their age. So it gets,
I have a
it's very sad.
93-year-old mother and I go visit her and she'll ask me 5 times if I've gone to the ranch. And I just look at her and I go, wow. And she seems normal.
Yeah, sometimes, and people have good days, sometimes, and people are, I think it's most families that I feel we have to educate as opposed to the client. It's the families that don't have the patience with a lot of these people, and I think that's where we start seeing the neglect, the abuse. I think if we can kind of get to a point where I always felt like if we can have that education and catch it with everybody at some point, I don't know if there's anything out there, but it would be great to educate families, especially with people that have like Alzheimer's, dementias, that, don't take things personal, it would actually help a lot, because a lot of families, when we get in there, it's that caretaker burnout. They get upset, and then it creates the abuse, neglect, exploitation. That's exactly why we go in there.
You're right.
But do you mind can somebody take a picture of?
Yes, can I get a motion?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, motion to approve.
I have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
You doing okay?
It's long.
Part of Jim Wells County. You're elected.
Yeah, I know. Do something about that hat.
Good, thank you.
How to use that? I think so.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I know it's only one more, but let's skip this one. We'll come right back to it, because I know these gentlemen have been waiting for a long time. 14.2, discuss, consider, and take action on participation by Jim Wells County in the tax increment reinvestment zone number 3, tourist number 3, Saddle Creek, City of Alice, Texas, including consideration of approval of the updated first amended project plan and reinvestment zone financing plan, extension of the zone's terms, and determination of the county's level of participation in the tax increment fund pursuant to Texas Tax Code, Chapter 311, and authorizing the county judge to execute any necessary agreements and documents related thereto. I think we have Representative Mr. Marquez.
Good, no, it's almost, hello, how y'all doing, Judge and Commissioners? My name is Vincent Marquez. I represent Northside Redevelopment Center, NRC. We're the developers for Saddle Creek TERS number 3. Basically asking for an interlocal agreement of approval with the City of Alice for TERS number 3, with the updated amendment for the term of it back, and it's gonna go to like 2040, excuse me. And the participation is the same as originally. It's 100% of the increment of the tax of the improvement, which will be solely used for infrastructure. This will give us the capabilities to our price point for a 3-2, 1,250 square foot house, $189,000 as a starting price. It'll give us the opportunity to make it not only affordable, but the parity of quality of living by having concrete streets, curbs, and gutters.
Where's the location exactly?
On Duval and Colgate in between.
Goliad, I believe.
Goliad, excuse me, I'm sorry, yes.
Is there anything else that we need other than this? Mr.
What,
Cook?
what was the extension? We're extending the date out to 2033, 2040?
2040.
From 2033 to 2040, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And commissioners, we had this a meeting or two ago. We were just waiting for the updated agreement, the language which has been provided to us by the city. I believe Mr. Esparza has already signed off on it.
Is there a reason you want to extend it all the way to 2040?
Because normally it's about 15 years and we're just now getting started again. Originally, it was extended, it was out for like 20 years, I think.
So on that property, there's no tax going to be paid by the owner, like the investment firm?
What happens is that as we sell the houses, the current value tax still gets paid. It's just the improvement, which is the gap, which that increment will go ahead and reimburse us for doing all the infrastructure.
They currently pay full tax.
Correct.
In this zone, as houses get built, the appraised value is gonna go up. The difference between what they pay today and what they pay after the improvement, what they're already paying still comes to the county. The difference that's why it's called tax increment. The difference is set aside for the projects to develop that particular neighborhood or that particular section.
The infrastructure, street drainage.
Curbs and gutters, yes, sir. And it's all gonna be cement.
So it's just for infrastructure. Does it cover any administration fees or anything like that?
Just infrastructure.
And when do you plan to kick off this?
As soon as I get the bank to approve the loan and once I get the interlocal agreement, and then once we have a development agreement with the city of Alice. So roughly, I'd say 6 to 8 months, hopefully we'll get started.
It's a curious question. So if nothing of this materializes, what happens to the contract?
There's no increment, so there's nothing that gets paid on it.
Basically, what's been happening
Right now.
since we first approved this. Yeah.
Curious questions.
No, I understand.
How many lots were these, sir?
42. And, you know, with the school moving in the right direction and with, you know, A&M Kingsville talking about expansion to Alice, that's all good for us as building single-family homes. That's gonna make it good for us to make it easier to sell about, because, you know, when you buy a home, the first thing is how are your schools doing, you know? So I'm excited about that.
I thought it was the roads. Then the schools.
It will be.
And I entertain a motion.
Motion to approve item is presented, Judge.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sidebar real quick. This is the Fourth of July event that's happening at the Natatorium. And we're having fireworks and everything as well. And thank you.
Thank you
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Mr. Flores, have a good day, sir.
Apologize y'all had to wait so long.
Don't worry about it, we're gonna go.
See you, Mr. Flores.
We talked.
Take care. You got it.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go back to agenda item 12.3. Mr. Lance, did you find out?
Yes, so I was on the phone with Miss Brenda, and then we called the State Operations Center. And on this particular one, I just got confirmation. Chief Ovaya confirmed with the State Operations Center that you would have to extend this every 30 days. The governor office is doing the same every 30 days.
Okay, so, we could change the days that we have on the declaration from, man, I don't wanna mix all this stuff up, you know, let's get it all mixed up. On the last page of it, remain in effect for not more than 7 days, so we're gonna change that to 30? 30 days. We're good with it? Okay, so, I make a motion, we approve, the declaration of state and local disaster regarding the threat of new, world schoolworm. And we'll have it in effect, for 30 days, and we'll bring it back, to court at that time for extension.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item 4.2, no, 4.1. 4.2, we just approved. 4.1, Discuss, consider, and take action for Commissioner Renee Kierhoff to enter into a lease agreement with Bank OZK, corporate and institutional banking for 2027 granite dump trucks.
These are our dump trucks that we rent yearly or we lease yearly, and I'm gonna need to table it, as one of them is going to be a renewal agreement and one of them's gonna be a new agreement. So I make a motion to table.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to table. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. One, yes. Huh?
You said 4.1.
Just for clarification, 14.1.
Okay, 14.1, okay, sorry, thank you. I think I'm just.
Thank you, ma'am.
A little bit today. Fine.
He's critical. It didn't get approved if it's 14.4.
That's right. So 14.1 on that one.
You learned that in conference.
Mhm. Agenda item number 15, payroll and bills. 15.1, discuss, consider, and take action on payroll and bills as submitted by the county auditor with the exemption of 52, 53, and 54.
Judges, Commissioner, again, we have the issue of the transport bill that comes through Jim Wells County taxpayers every 2 weeks. And we have to either recommend that these expenses get paid out of the forfeiture fund from the sheriff department. We can't continue on this trend. It's gonna be a lot of funding at the end of the year, or do a cost recovery measure. Either we can limit or remove some funding from the budget. So something's gotta be done. These things didn't happen before this other administrations that we had working for Jim Wells County, so, and I'm sure that they can implement some sort of resolution to this problem. At this moment, we might have to require or mandate regular public reports from the sheriff.
Are you talking about all the ones from Sunrise?
Yes. The total this 14 days is, from the last Commissioner's Court, is $26,210.20. And descriptions of these transports is from here to Beeville, from here to Maverick County again.
That was 26,000.
$26,210.20. I have a copy right here.
So what's the total for, you have a total for the, since it took off? Since we started using them?
Total for what we do?
Since we started using it year-to-date?
I don't have,
total?
I believe the
average about
total
26,000,
year-to-date might be
would you
over
say?
100K.
Yeah, I don't have that detailed report with me right now, but I'm more than happy to share it. I can pull up reports.
That's fine.
So, okay.
You know, getting those cells that are not being used, Judge, you know, I have never gotten an understanding that why they're not getting, what's the problem?
Yeah.
This has got to be put in the
I don't know, we
agenda,
could-
Judge.
yeah, we gotta
We
put-
need to address this issue. It's gone way too far.
I'm okay with putting it in the agenda, you just gotta, just do it, because we can't really talk about it right now on the bills. So, I don't mind us putting it on the agenda for the
You know, we
26th.
utilize all our sales, everything goes down. You know, we need to start somewhere, you know.
So for public information, we pay Jill secured services, $57,975 this go around, and for the month of May. And then April, we paid Geo $25,950. You know, I mean, we can put an item on the agenda to discuss all this, but I just want to make those amounts public.
Go ahead and do that. Can I entertain a motion to approve the bills?
On that, tech risk management, pool, is that insurance?
It is insurance.
362,000?
It's our property coverage.
Property insurance?
Well, there's 5 different policies.
Huh?
There's 5, I'm sorry, there's 5 different policies, so it's, yeah, our public officials insurance, our law enforcement insurance, the property insurance, our auto insurance, and I forgot the 5th one. There's 5 policies that's the premium.
Is that a mic right there, or what is that?
I don't know what that is. They just told me
I
to speak
kind of
into.
heard you, but I kind of understood what you're saying.
Because
Perhaps we need to put some more mics up there.
I don't hear it as it amplifies anything.
Put an earphone.
Is it on?
It's on?
Yeah, we need to get something better than that.
Yeah,
We
we
can hear it.
need to communicate a little better. I think
Trucker's
I'm
mic.
interested with you and with
Truck driver's
him, and,
mic,
you know,
Jim.
it's still not,
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
it's not where we need to be. Anyway, I was just concerned, I was just wondering about that, you know, I knew it was, insurance, a bill.
Yes, and we do.
It's a big one. How often do we get these?
Every year, so we do budget for it every year. Of course, they do their reports and their ratios, and sometimes we have bad years because of claims versus other years, so it does vary as far as the reports that they go. I believe they go every 4 years, like a 4-year history.
I'm sorry, ma'am, I can't hear you. There's a lot of noise outside. I thought we could taken care of this problem already about quieting those guys down when we have a commissioner's court, but apparently not, so.
They gotta work too, man, so.
Well,
we gotta get-
we got a commissioner's court, it's a business meeting.
Understand, we got it.
Yeah.
So, and the other question is, workman's comp gets charged accordingly to the work hours accumulated?
Work, as far as how they
How they
determine
charge
the
you?
premium, so workers' comp is divided out by, it's estimated payroll on what we pay all of our employees. And then they're all categorized because some positions are higher risk, so
Yeah, okay.
there's like,
Accordingly.
15 different categories, and so they're percentaged out on how they charge us for the insurance.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Entertain a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Anybody like to address the court before we?
I'd like to address it, Judge. Here back in December or so, we had an item on the agenda to make a motion to deal with those bleachers at the fairgrounds. And we decided to pay a $10 charge to Brooks County. I've asked 3 times to 3 different people to send the bill to them over there. As of yesterday morning, no bill has been sent. They haven't been paid for, so it's still property of Jim Wells County, I would assume.
Correction, I did send a bill
Okay.
to the county judge the day that we had the conversation.
It's not an item, a conversation, discussion. But as of yesterday morning, I talked to Mr. Garcia, the auditor from Brooks County. There was no bill sent off. There was no payment. So that's still property of Jim Wells County. Am I correct, Mr. Guerra? It hasn't been paid for. Okay, but it hasn't been paid. Okay, so it's still property of ours, right? Okay, so yesterday we were crossing through there to go to the clinic, and there's 1 set of bleachers missing. So I would consider that if there's no bill, there's nothing. Somebody took them without approval, and it's still property of Jim Wells County. That's what I wanted to mention.
Anybody else like to address the court at this time? Can I entertain a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, guys.